Presentation of the following assignments for the students. Prepare a program for an informational meeting with local communities about relevance and potential benefits for hosting a geological repository for spent nuclear fuel. This presentation has been prepared and presented on June 17th, 2015. Group 9: Michael Niwala, Peter Böchtler, Luis Corona, Arnau Kreuz-Villa and Jeff Geringer.
Okay, hey, my name is Mikael and these are my colleagues from the National Waste Management Company. Welcome to our presentation about nuclear waste repositories and the potential benefits of hosting such a repository. As you might know, in our country we're hosting 4 different nuclear power plants, and nuclear energy is an integral part of our economy as well as electricity production. However, the nuclear energy produces waste, and after the nuclear fuel has been removed from the reactor, it's stored in cooling pools for a couple of years until it's considered safe enough to be transported away from the facility for further management. And the nuclear fuel is also radioactive, and the radioactivity is part of our everyday life, and if handled properly, it will not pose a risk on us. And by definition, radioactive materials become less radioactive with time, and the key for safe nuclear electricity the key for keeping it the key for safety in this context is long-term containment, as well as keeping the waste as far as reasonably achievable from us.
Yeah, thank you. So my name is Luis. Well, when we are talking about this spent nuclear fuel from our nuclear power plants, it's important to know that we have the responsibility to take care of this spent nuclear fuel. Even if we decide to stop all the nuclear power plants now, we still have to take care of the existing spent nuclear fuel. So it's our responsibility as a society. But then our company is responsible and has the responsibility to engage potential partners to find a place to store this spent nuclear fuel. And that's why we are here informing you about this issue. Well, in this partnering process, it's very important. The most important for us is the dialogue, probably the dialogue and exchange impressions. Of course, inform you about what is our intention, what are we pretending to do, but. Of course, not only informing you, but you will also have to share with us which are your feelings, your impression, your worries, your concerns about this project. So it's important to know that this process will take a lot of years, probably some decades. So it's not instantaneous, not yes or no, and there will be a lot of steps in this process. In these steps. A re-evaluation of the commitment of your municipality and of the other parties implied in this process will be re-evaluated. And also, of course, from the safety point of view, in a very transparent way, and always with this communication and with this dialogue between the different parties implied in this process.
So, thank you, Luis. So, people of Narnia, as my colleague said, we have some radioactive waste. We need to be safely disposal to. And now there are 2 questions I'm sure you will be making. The first one is, can we really safely dispose of that waste? The answer is yes. And when I say yes, I mean yes, we can. As you are probably imagining, safety is not a thing that is written on a paper. Safety is about the things in your life. The important fact is that people are safe. And when I say people are safe, I refer to that voter, Republican voter who was raising his hand yesterday. Yes, you will be able to be safe with the spent fuel repository in your municipality. Of course, our local Greenpeace community will be able to grow big marijuana plants without any problem. And the second question is, why on my place? Why on my municipality? Why on my backyard? And I must tell you, because your backyard, we've done some studies, and your backyard, your place, your municipality is really safe. It's a safe place, and you have also volunteered for that. So, this is the way we are going to make it safe for you, so you will not notice it. You will have no adverse consequences out of it. It may look quite difficult, but let me introduce you the concept of defense in depth. What is defense in depth? Defense in depth is basically we put a barrier after a barrier after a barrier. So if the first barrier is breached, we have the second. If the second is breached, we have the third. And if all the barriers by any chance are broken, we still be digging a very deep hole so to keep the radioactive waste away from you. And eventually, as it was previously explained, it will become less radioactive. And we have a very important objective for this repository. It will be safe for everyone. We expect nobody to have adverse consequences for 1,000,000 years. So you will be safe. I'm sure that young woman behind Holly, maybe you were called, you can have your children safely. They will grow up in a safe place.
Many of them.
And many of them, I would not say that. And of course, if there is any farmer, for example, Gosha, you can have your cows safely. They will be healthy, they will produce a lot of milk, and you will make your money and your living out of those cows.
So we've talked briefly about what we're looking for in partners and about our end of the bargain, our engineered barriers and the design work that we'll put into this facility. But what I want to talk about now is what a partnership with our company would mean for you in the local community. Participating in this siting process, and at this stage it's merely participating and demonstrating the willingness to be considered as a potential site, should have positive impacts. And we group this under what we call our positive impact program. And these benefits can be divided into 3 major areas: jobs, direct assistance, and research and development. So in terms of jobs, there are both direct and indirect jobs. A facility the size of our planned repository, as well as the characterization of your locale, will require many employees to successfully carry out the task. These include direct jobs, which can include repository operations, construction, security, and rely on skills that many people in your community already have, as well as indirect jobs for all the new hotels, restaurants, and other businesses which will be supported by the influx of people and dollars to your community that such a repository project would bring. The second category is direct assistance. And the major form of direct assistance in this case is some kind of infrastructure upgrades to support our construction process on site. This runs anything from improved highway and roads in order to move the trucks and equipment that we need to your facility, but also go to other things that would support a high-tech facility like improved internet and potentially medical upgrades and other things. And additionally, there will be a broadening of your municipal tax base in terms of the property taxes and the construction dollars that will be spent in town to support and build this facility, as well as value-added taxes on all the goods and services that will be purchased as a result of the people coming into your town. And finally, research and development. We aim to construct a unique facility in the world, a laboratory and a place of study and eventually a repository that would be truly unique and truly useful for the larger scientific community. So both public and private researchers from your universities, from companies ranging from startups to multi-billion-dollar enterprises can find use in this facility in its later life after we've performed our necessary experiments. And additionally, these people which come to your town may have ideas and may have uses for this facility in addition to nuclear waste, and this sort of technological entrepreneurship would be a major boon to any community.
Okay, thank you. My name is Peter, and I'm now going to conclude this presentation. So the Positive Impact Program is not a winner-takes-it-all approach. That means all municipalities that are willing to participate in this siting and research process, they are going to benefit. And well, Jeff mentioned most of those benefits. I'm just going to repeat some of them. There will be support facilities, like for the people who are coming, you need leisure-related activities, you need sports facilities, restaurants, you need local suppliers, for example. So it's a fair argument to say that there's going to be an increase of jobs in these kind of facilities. Moreover, we need research facilities where we actually do the siting process. So there will be researchers looking at the conditions, the geological conditions of your site in more detail. And then what we can do is, for example, engage your local schools and universities in doing some project work there, and perhaps even we can host some PhD positions or possibilities for the local students here to do their project work at our facilities. And finally, there will be, we are hoping to get a lot of volunteers, different municipalities, and in the very end, at some point, there will be a final decision. And at this point, we can already say that we are also planning to have some financial compensation for those who participated in the long process before that, but then in the end, were not lucky enough to get finally selected. So what is next? Now, what we would like to do is to have your participation in a citizen oversight program. That means we would like you to actually, if you are interested in this partnership, to monitor our activities. So to say, for example, we want to do joint field investigations where you come with us to the sites we are interested in and look with us at the conditions together. And we also think that we could actually benefit from your knowledge about this area, because you have been living here for so long, and I'm sure you can contribute some valuable information about some details we have missed so far. Then for those of you who are used to using internet, please check out our website. There's technical information about the nuclear waste processes and all further technical details you might be interested in. Or there's even information on a more simpler level. So for example, if you are a landowner and you're wondering about your rights, what rights do I have if there's a company coming who wants to take my land and doing investigations, then you can find information also related to that on our website. So finally, we would be very pleased to work with you about the, yeah, sorry?
As a landowner, why are you saying I would not have rights to my land?
No, what I try to say is, you might not know your actual legal situation, what it is to own the land, and what is the official process in having some company who perhaps wants to do some investigations. What is your rights to prevent, for example, any of that if you don't want us to be there? It's just about informing you how the process works and what kind of decisions can be taken at any point by both parties.
That's a fair statement.
Okay. So yeah, we would like to work with you, and thank you for your time.
Please.
want to ask about my house.
That's your
Yeah,
answer.
tell me.
You mentioned it.
Yeah.
So I love my house. I'm very happy with them. What will you do if you find my land as the best for repository? I don't want to sell them.
Okay, thank you for the question, first of all. As a company, we have a high respect for your opinion. Of course, we value your opinion and we totally respect it. If you don't want your place to be a part of the investigation, we support you.
Investigation. If you find my place, my land as the best one.
As the best place to like your...
My land.
Okay.
Buy my land and I love my house.
No, but we will we will not try to buy your land. Even if in the case that the most suitable location was in your land, to say it, like below your house, remember that the actual physical repository will be placed like 500 meters below. So you will still be able.
Yeah, I will be able, but after what time?
After.
Because repository takes building a repository.
For the build, of course, this is a thing that.
What I'm supposed to do in my house while building that?
Of course, in the case that you will, we will require you, or we might require you to reposition your farm, you will be fully compensated for it. It will not be a problem for you, I can assure you. Yeah?
Yes. Yes, in a way.
Okay.
It's also important to note that the footprint, the size of our surface facilities on site would likely be very small and much smaller than the amount of land you would need to raise your cows on already. And so even in the unlikely event that your land was chosen as the potential surface site for a repository, very unlikely event, it would likely cause minimal disruption to your farming operations.
I enjoyed your presentation. One of your earlier slides, you used the expression that nuclear or spent fuel was highly radioactive. Maybe we don't need highly. And then I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm a little biased perhaps from last year, do we actually need to use the term radioactive in the first meeting and just refer to it as spent nuclear fuel, period? And then in the second meeting, we slowly acclimate them to the idea it's radioactive, and here's what that means. I just throw that out for thought. I like the idea of partnering. That was a good term. Again, you mentioned failure of the barriers. I thought, maybe not in the first meeting. You did stress volunteers, and that they would have to volunteer for this. We could have hit that a little harder, I think. And once again, that barrier figure seemed a little technical at first. I was wondering if we could live without it. And that's all I had. Good job, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes, it was